need gaming bets. We accept bets on computer games online since 2011. Referral system for regular users and the first deposit bonus. Gaming devices store and the best choice of payment systems. Dota 2 and Hearthstone, Counter-Strike and StarCraft, World of Tanks and League of Legends. EGB.com. You know for sure who's going to win.
G2A.com, the best video game store ever! Fast as lightning, solid as a rock, cheap as duck! What's more, you can sell on it because it's also a marketplace. Remember G2A.com, the best video game store ever!
Good evening, Counter-Strike fans across the globe. Welcome to the second season of CounterPit. I'm Jim Inesso, and of course I'm joined tonight by none other than PK. How are you going tonight, PK?
Yeah, pretty good. I've got the fire going. I'm very keen for tonight's cast. Yesterday it was really the start of what's going to be a fantastic 2 weeks. We've got 15 matches crammed into, 11 days. So I think with each match being a best of two, we're going to be hard-pressed trying to keep up with everything. But no, really looking forward to tonight's match. In case you missed last night, I'll give you the recap. Team Immunity beat Trident. You're now up to date. So it is a 6-team competition. All 6 teams vying for that first place, because if, they can secure that first place, the winning team will secure themselves a trip to the World Finals in Croatia in March next year. So really that's the dream for these teams to, have that chance to go overseas, and really, the community here in Australia is just buzzing with excitement at the moment. It's amazing.
It's an amazing time to be a part of things. Certainly, that's what we're so privileged to bring everyone this fantastic spectacle. But of course, the two teams that we've got matching up tonight, we've got none other than Chiefs, and of course Trident, who we saw in action last night. Now, head to head, this is going to be a very interesting matchup because I believe these two actually have quite a history.
Yeah, I think they've played over the last 3 months. They've actually played each other, would you believe, 4 times. It's one of the little rivalries that's developing within the scene. Now, there's been a clear trend. In each of the 4 times, the winner each time has been Team Chiefs. So they've definitely got that upper hand and mental edge coming into tonight. But it's not all as, straightforward as it may seem. So maybe the best thing to do is introduce Chiefs. They're the newcomers tonight. This will be the first time we've seen them all season. For those who don't know Team Chiefs, Jim, maybe give us the rundown.
Definitely, look, Team Chiefs, we'll go through their players. Definitely, these guys are led from the front by Lightstep, their in-game leader. So he's actually got a history in our scene as someone to, develop younger talent, and there's definitely a team full of young talent. And we'll go through that a little bit later. But he has, from time to time, been known for a very rigid and strict in-game leading style, but he's relaxed a little bit more now and definitely, plays to the strengths of his team. Tux is the team's AWPer. Now, he's very passive, CT-sided AWPer, very calm, cool, collected, and he's some of the young talent that I was speaking about earlier. He's also paired with another young talent in Zeusy. He's actually the team's go-to guy for fragging. He's their entry fragger. Now, again, another young, talented player, very explosive, very versatile. They do utilise him in quite a few different roles, and he seems to adapt quite well. So he's very cool, calm, and collected as well, and really thrives in, under pressure, but more so when the team's having a little bit of fun as well. So he really enjoys that environment and plays quite well. Now, that brings us to the, one of the last members of the team. It's none other than Chriso Wow. So he's actually, the key to this team doing quite well. I guess in the sense that he's second into the side. He's the guy that I look to for trading, and he's key and to these guys having any sort of success. And I guess in the Australian scene, the last player, last but not least, he's very well known around the traps here. It's PDG. Now, he's the team captain. I guess he's the heart and soul of the team. Very emotional player, but I guess like we spoke about last night with a few other players like James on immunity, he's a player that doesn't need external validation for his role in the team. He does the job quite well.
I think it's probably worth noting, because I think we heard "I guess" about 20 times then. We're not just guessing when we're saying this, though. Jim is quite informed. We do know these guys really well. We have had the chance to watch these guys play for months and months and months on end. Some of them we actually know going back over a decade now. So whilst we're having a little bit of a laugh and a chuckle, these are players who are really well known within the scene and are established. And they will, of course, be up tonight against Team Trident, who we did see last night, the young up-and-coming team. They do like to have a little bit of fun. I think if you checked Reddit last night, you would have seen their knife rounds. But also, they're a very well-practiced and drilled team. They do take it seriously once they are in game. So keep your eyes out for Lonsdale, the in-game leader, the strategic mind, and the member of the team who does come up with those knife round strategies. So get your odd shots ready tonight. He will be supported well by Yellow, the actual captain of the team. Very calm and composed, and I think they'll be relying on Yellow's composure to help bounce back from last night's loss, where they did go down to immunity 2-0. Burn, the entry fragger of the team, we talked up last night how he's impactful and explosive. Well, we didn't really see that last night, so I think he'll be out with a point to prove, and definitely, despite what you might have seen last night and whatever way your skins ended up going, he is definitely the main man with frag-wise for this team, so he needs to be on his game tonight. Break, the lurker of the team, very calm and intelligent, very, very crafty as well. So definitely will find himself in all sorts of awkward spots and put a lot of pressure on the opposition. And last but certainly not least is Aiden, the AWPer of the team when his team requires that role to be filled. You would have noticed last night, particularly against Immunity, that wasn't AWPing so much on the terror side given the strategies that were getting called, but on the CT side, he picked up that big sniper rifle and put it to great use. So they've got a star-studded group of young talent. I think young is the key here. We've mentioned that they're quite inexperienced in this case, but they're desperate to prove their worth as a team. How are you thinking this match is going to go, Jim? Thoughts?
Look, I think it's definitely going to be an interesting matchup, just because the two teams, as you say, do have a lot of young talent. And they really do look to their young talent to make the difference in a lot of these encounters. So that is definitely going to play a massive factor here. As far as they actually match up together, head to head, it is going to be a battle for, I guess, in the sense of the first map, which will be Cache, a battle between who's controlling mid the most. And I think that's where the team AWPers are going to come into play. So I think Tux and Aiden Hu are going to be one of the big matchups here. But I think Chiefs are just going to win out just because they've got that mental edge, having won over them, as you said, 4 times in the last previous 3 months in terms of encounters. So I guess if you were to sum it up, Chiefs are Trident's kryptonite.
Yeah, I think if you were just to look purely at the facts, I think it'd be hard to look past Chiefs. I must admit, though, from all the time I've spent watching them, whether it be casting or just purely spectating them, I am never comfortable or assured of a Chiefs victory. I guess, for me, there's 2 teams that can come to play. You've got good Chiefs and bad Chiefs. They have some of the most talented players in the country, if not the most talented lineup in this competition. When they are playing at their best, we've seen them take out the domestic lead 4 weeks ago, knocking over Team Immunity in the finals. They can beat anyone in the country. To give you guys some insight, one of their core players that Jim picked out, Zeusy, the young blood, the explosive fragger in the team, 6 weeks ago, before ESL Crown, he was approached by Team Immunity and they asked him if he would like to join Team Immunity. They were on the lookout for a new player, and he was the sole person in the country that they recognised as that talent that they wanted to get. Now, Zeusy, for whatever reasons, declined that offer and chose to stay with his team, but that's the high regard in which some of these fraggers are held within the country. Unfortunately, they don't always produce that talent. We've seen bad Chiefs. We've seen a Chiefs that can really make any of their opposition look like world-class players. We've seen them drop maps in, I guess, all different sorts of competitions. I guess the difference being, though, that in other competitions such as CGPL, our main domestic league, the format's been BO3, which almost allows them to sometimes have an off game. Tonight, they can't afford to. This is BO2. There's a premium placed on winning. They must win 2 maps. And really, I don't think we've seen that consistency, or at least I certainly haven't seen that consistency from them, which would assure me that I actually think they'll be able to take out both maps, despite having all these advantages that we list off, despite having potentially the better lineup. We've seen giant skill fluctuations from these guys, and this is a competition which you can't afford to. Every match matters. And I think, based purely off that inconsistency, I'm predicting 1 map apiece. Everyone will have their skins returned.
That's a very interesting prediction, but I think you do make some interesting points in that, yes, we have seen Chiefs really be quite inconsistent at times, but the one thing, and I guess it does work for both teams, is that they have been actually consistently playing throughout this period. So both teams have actually been sitting there and practicing when traditionally there would have been, as we said last night, a downtime in Australian CS, and so that's probably one thing that will work in Chiefs' favour, is that they have had time to build some consistency, particularly with these results. And I think both of these lineups are long-standing lineups. I mean, in terms of the Australian scene, Trident have been around for 5 months now, I believe. Nick, correct me if I'm wrong.
Correct.
And Chiefs have actually been around a little bit longer. So they've been only 1 month, but the lineup has stood together for 6 months. So I think Chiefs, obviously having played at a higher level for a little bit longer than Trident, will just draw on that experience. And I think while there will be close victories, I think it'll be a 2-0 Chiefs.
The problem that I have, though, when I look at the Chiefs lineup, and they're all incredible players, but from a pure mentality side of things, they're calm, composed, very level-headed players are the 2 youngest players in the team, Tux and Zusi.
Strange.
They're the ones, it's strange. Whereas the more experienced players who have been around longer, the Light Steps and the Pietros, or PDGs he's otherwise known here in our country, they're more volatile. And that's great when things are going well. They're definitely great at firing up the team. But when things aren't going well, and those guys perhaps start to get a little bit, this is going to sound very lovey-dovey, but get a little bit emotionally distressed, and some angst, I guess, arises within the team, they're the ones that the young guys are turning to, and that's the influence that really they're drawing upon. So I just think that sometimes that can work against them, because it's always tough when you're a young person in the team, perhaps the last to join as well. So playing with some unfamiliar people, at least initially, it's not easy in that position to be trying to calm down these leaders of the team, the players that you're meant to be looking to for support and inspiration. And I just find that emotional imbalance within the team quite a volatile environment for me.
Yeah, it's interesting in the sense that we identified, and I mean, obviously emotional, I guess, levels do run high, as you said, in the Chiefs camp, and it works on for both teams in the sense that that can snowball out of control for both teams, and that for me is going to be the factor, whether or not who can control that emotional distress at the perfect time.
Well, I think with Trident, because you're right, I like phrasing it like that for the viewers at home, and I think that's a really good indication as to something to look out for this match. But what I'd suggest is that when we're watching Trident play, very early on from the first 1 or 2 rounds, we're going to know what sort of mindset they're in, whether they've turned up to play tonight. I guess you know what you're going to get from those guys. We can tell that instantly. But what Chiefs have shown us, as we are going into the 9th round, so I will finish this point very quickly, what Chiefs has shown us that at any given time, they can flick that switch between consistent and in... I think the 9th round is now finished.
Did that just happen?
Did that just happen?
Did Trident just get out-Tridented?
Chiefs have just suicided on the spot. They pulled a Trident. I thought I had a couple of seconds left to finish the point, but I'm at a loss for words. I don't know what to make of this. All of my pre-game analysis has just been blown out of the water, Jim.
This is going to be, I think this is going to be a massive trend for this match, just because these 2 teams, and I know this for a fact, that Chiefs have actually copied a few of Trident's strats on this map. Now,
well, they've taken it to another level here.
They've taken the 9th round as well.
Yeah, I'm at a bit of a loss for words. I mean, of course, Trident, they're going to be so disappointed with that. I'm sure that they've been practicing for hours and hours today. Not necessarily with any particular in-game strategies in mind, so much as a knife round strategy, but wow, that's really disappointing to see that happened that fast, that we didn't even get to build the suspense for it.
Chiefs beating Trident to the punch already.
In all seriousness, though, it's interesting for me to see that Case will be the first map played. Whilst Trident did lose in quite unconvincing fashion last night on this map to Team Immunity, it was 16-8, I believe, but probably that scoreline makes it seem almost a bit closer than it was in reality, and that's telling you something. It's actually been statistically their strongest map over the last few months. So they really backed themselves. I think they would probably be a little bit disappointed with how they played on the map last night, but they would have put that past them and they're looking to come out and prove a point tonight. But it's also been one of Chiefs' best maps as well, so it's almost a battle of two titans on the map. So I think that purely off the map, I wouldn't read it too much into it other than they both really favoured themselves, and definitely watch out for that mid battle that Jim pointed out.
Yeah, the mid battle will be key, but yeah, as you said, both teams are quite strong on cache, and obviously the veto system allowed for both teams to leave that in the map pool quite deliberately. So both teams favouring themselves on the map, but I want to see what Chiefs can pull out of the draw in this first round. As we see, they are just sending themselves into a very default split. Chris actually picks up Lonsdale, pushing through that mid-smoke, but Break finds a reply, and that bomb is now going to head through the B main area and just look to hit that B site. But it looks to me like Trident are reading this quite well. They have two members still on that site. Doesn't matter anyway. Pietro opens things up as Break now on the flank does take the battle to CRS and does take him down. Should I say, was that Burn? But either way, they do manage to get that bomb onto the site, and now a 2v2 situation will unfold. Yellow is critically low though. He needs to get a pick here. But Break has great position without Chiefs being too aware there. They do manage to pick up the frag onto Yellow. Trident are going to need this round, and Break is taking this 1v1. It is dance around the pole as Lightstep does manage to land the burst and seal the deal for Chiefs. Very tense pistol there, coming right down to the final, I guess, members of the team, right down to the wire. Perhaps a preview of what's in store.
Yeah, they almost seemed as though they didn't want to kill each other in the end. Those last two were alive for so long. We did see, I think it was Lonsdale there at the beginning, pushing through that smoke in mid, and it might seem quite strange, I guess, if you look at it in isolation, but we saw it work so well last night. If teams aren't there, you can quite easily get that very early flank on with a lot of information, but didn't quite work out. He fell down very early in the round, and it just opened up, I guess, the opportunity for the T's to regroup and hit a site with really a delayed rotation that would come their way due to the spread defense. But we can see that Trident have force bought this round, so look at that scout in Aiden's hands. Also a couple of pistols and armor, maybe even a grenade or two across the rest of the members there. So they're certainly trying to put up a lot of resistance as best they can. And they've already done quite a lot of damage to Lightstep. Never mind Zeusy though. I think he's actually run down the highway there from A or some sort of shenanigans, so he has got a frag or two. As it stands though, it's still 4v4, so no clear-cut winner at this point. You can see Bird, nice little headshot there actually onto Tuxton. He actually grabs the second one as he's retreating as well, so this is just opening up the round for them. Whilst they do have quite a few damaged members of the team that's still alive, crucially they do have the man advantage down to a 3-on-1, and they do get that final shot there. Yellow with the scout. He's not renowned for his sniping skills, but he makes the shot when it counts, and Trident pull themselves back into the match, one round apiece.
Yeah, very much bucking the trend that we saw last night, where the teams that won the pistols subsequently started to win out those next few rounds, but Trident taking things straight to Chiefs, not messing about, showing that they mean business in this particular matchup, and now Chiefs on that Tech 9 buy.
This is actually something we've seen recently in their play though, isn't it? They've identified themselves that they sometimes struggle on those anti-eco rounds. Bit concerning for them, Chiefs of course, to see it re-emerging tonight. They want to get it quickly on top of that.
And it looks to be A, as they set themselves up. Aiden Hu just taking that scout battle with the Deagle at the top of the boost there. None other than Pietro, or PDG as he's known. He loves his Deagle. Let's see if he can make it work for him as the smokes go down on A. They do get that opening frag as they do manage to pick up a second there. Break not quite successful as he was last night with that automatic shotgun, and the bomb will go down. Trident now will either be faced with the decision of having to get that early pick. PDG does manage to convert a lurk frag there, and now a little bit too much to do perhaps for Trident. They will try and get some early frags. Aiden Hu does pick up one. Burn not taking any prisoners, as he does take another one down with that MP7. Does actually manage to do the deagle damage as well. Pietro now, that lurk position is not really too good for his team. The diffuser's being held, and I believe if that grenade does not do the damage, that will seal the deal for Trident. Great work from Bird.
Gracious. Oh my goodness, what did we just witness? It looked for all money as though Trident were about to find themselves on the losing foot of another anti-eco, and once again the chaotic Destroyer CS scene at its finest, but they've just pulled a 2v5 out of the bag. Burn doing a fantastic job there flanking A-main, and with a submachine gun and a D-door equipped, he managed to actually drop, I think, 3 members there in the end. Well supported by Aiden with the scout, but Trident very lucky to get away with that round. But keep an eye out here. You can see the Chiefs have force support. This is something to be very wary of if you're a Chiefs supporter, because they are known within the scene of sometimes falling into the downward spiral, an endless pit that are force buys. And that's, once you've started that, it can be very hard to recover.
This round starting out almost a mirror image of what happened last round. They do favour themselves into this A site. They did manage to get in and get that plant, so they'll be looking to emulate that success again. But Trident are a little bit more aware of things this time. They actually have backed off from the site completely, not losing those early battles. Doesn't matter. Pietro picks up that frag in mid now, so Burn is going to quickly flank. He does find Pietro as well. That lurk has been eliminated. Now Trident are going to test their retake skills once again. Chiefs take a lot of grenade damage there, and retake to come here. They are going to stream onto this site. They do manage to pick up an early couple of frags here, as Tux does do some work with that Tech 9. Chris does manage to pick up a second one as well. Great site defense this time, learning from their mistakes last round and not letting them retake so easily.
Yeah, it almost seemed... I'm surprised to see them playing retake A on the 4th round of a match, particularly when they should be expecting, as Chiefs were in fact, on an eco round or force buy round. I'm just wondering whether they've almost got inside their heads from that one close round before and started to doubt themselves at A, because by playing retake, with the utility that the T's have on offer, great shot there by Aiden, it's really just opening the door for Chiefs, and you can't afford these guys any of those sort of opportunities. Great frag by Aiden though. With those frags that he has been able to, I guess, get in the first 4 rounds, it's really built up his economy. So with that steady AWP in hand, let's see what he can put to good use here. Great here. I guess supporting Aiden quite well in mid. Drops that smoke down there and really just allows Aiden to focus just solely on the boost, which is where the attack is going to be coming from if we could cheat a little bit and look through the walls there with the benefit of X-Ray. And see, I think 1 member, even 2 have been boosted up, so Chiefs well intent here on trying to wrestle back that control a bit and give themselves as many options as possible. Zusi has managed to sneak out to the short box here, so perhaps calling for a flash or 2, or he will step around on his own and eventually does take down Break there at short, opens up the A site, spots that one at quad box, and that's all the information that Tux does need to drop and open up that A site.
Zusi does manage to get a bit of a lurk here, but it doesn't matter anyway. Chris is actually opening things up himself with a great double frag there, but geez, Zusi just showing his, I guess, ability to read the game in that sort of situation, getting behind a few players, getting that lurk, getting out, I guess, onto highway quite quickly. So, Chiefs wrestling back control.
When you've got someone on top of the boost still applying pressure to short box and a pressure to mid-con, it can be very easy for the defenders there to forget about someone sneaking up alongside that wall to short box, and that's exactly what they did. Chriso does open up another round for Chiefs, so they're doing very well at the moment of wrestling mid-control and really forcing the CTs to play quite defensively. Another one goes down, I guess a Kobe grenade. Can't say that for very much longer, can we?
No,
but
definitely out of fashion right now.
Out of fashion right now, but down to 2 last members. Make it 1, burn the last member surviving. Has a pistol in hand, but surely that won't be enough against the mighty force that is Team Chiefs as they wreck another head there. Zusi with a nice frag. 4 rounds to 2.
It won't be long before the Kobe is renamed to the Curry. I don't think so. No? Tough crowd.
I'm just leaving that one alone, mate.
Leave that one alone. But look, Chiefs just pulling away temporarily. And Trident investing a lot in this round. As you can see, they have sacrificed head armor. Burn has actually sacrificed armor altogether, and they are putting a lot on this round. I think the telling difference will be whether or not they can make that utility last throughout the round. They have burnt a little bit quite early. As Chiefs, we can see their utility is still quite good.
I'm glad to see, though, that as we do see Burn get a frag there, without the armor as well, so really good work by him. But I'm so glad to see that both of the CTs in A, I believe it's, might even be Break in yellow, yes. Both of them are playing in the side again. I'd much prefer to see this, especially early on in the half. Save the retake A strategy for later on if things still aren't working out. I much prefer to see them back themselves.
Definitely. I think just because they don't have the utility to play retake A, that decision would have been influenced a little bit by that. So, Chiefs, though, in the meantime, have sent 3 men to that B site. Tux just delaying himself across the map here, and they're just waiting to see whether or not anyone from Trident will get a little bit cheeky, get a little bit of an information push, but with a man advantage, I don't think there's that need. Either way, Trident are going to be tested here, as they do make their way into the checker room, and they will try and assault this B site. As Stray goes down, Lightstep already picking up the opening frag, and now straight onto the site, Lightstep with a double, doing great work for his team, leading the way with the frags and the strategy, as that plant will go down, and now Trident are forced to take 4v3.
Well, that's right. You can see they actually look quite intent on going for this retake as well, despite being down a man. I'm not sure whether the scoreboard's influencing this decision. They want to start getting a few more round wins up their belt, but it does look as though with 1 member in the vents and 2 coming through CT spawn that they will try their hand at pincering the terrorists, but it's not to be. Zusi with a frag, Tux with another, and all of a sudden Yellow doing what perhaps he ought have done earlier and trying as best he can to save that gun. He will run up highway, but Lightstep well on the case here, and it's going to be a matter of milliseconds and inches, I think, to see if Yellow can survive this with all 3 members of Chiefs hunting him down. You can see he has found a hiding spot at Forklift, but surely they will find him. Surely, no, they do
Yellow
not.
making the getaway like a rat up a drain pipe.
I do love the way, though, that Chiefs actually attacked that B site then. A lot of teams you do see try and funnel in through the main B main entrance, but by dropping that smoke and actually sending 3 members through checkers, they were able to actually catch one of the members of Trident off guard in the pit there. I really like that attack.
Yeah, it was quite well constructed, actually, given that they lost their early pick. So, Chiefs now will face the anti-eco troubles, perhaps, once again. No, they do pick up the early frag there. Pietro and his teammates doing good work in that beast main, as Yellow does actually manage to pick up a frag there. So the gun that they did save has done them a little bit of a favour so far, but doesn't matter anyway. That bomb is going to go on that B site, and Chiefs do have the man advantage here, 4-2.
Yeah, they're definitely well positioned, and if they play their cards right, you'd be hard-pressed to see Trident winning this round. I mean, the bomb's already been planted, 35 seconds left. Maybe it's just the objective of saving both of those rifles. Maybe an exit frag or 2 if they can. We will see Tuxie. He does spot out. Oh, nice little shot there onto break. Tuxie's only picked up the AWP about 3 months ago, but really started to become quite proficient with it. Grabs the second there onto Yellow. Really good work by him, but 6-2. But just to, I guess, elaborate on what I said pre-game, this is definitely good Chiefs, as I termed it quite eloquently in pre-game. This is Chiefs when they're at their best, actually managing to carve out some rounds when they're in difficult situations as well. I think a couple of the times they've been in 4v5 situations and still getting the round wins. Everyone communicating well and working well together. This is good to see.
Yeah, they are winning the aim duels. That does definitely help quite a bit, as we see quite a few members of Chiefs just make their way towards that A site. They do actually have 2 men sitting up in the door there, and will look to attack this A site and apply a little bit of pressure quite early. That AWP does catch break a little bit, does tag him through the forklift there. He just narrowly survives with his life, and 21 HP to boot. Is forced back into that site as the pressure Chiefs are applying on this A site hasn't broken them yet, but Zusi just missing out on catching Yellow there. That bomb, though, is making its way back to the B site, keeping that men in A.
I love the way, though, that Trident haven't overreacted. They've still held strong at B, still held one member in mid, I should say as well. Pietro there, he's actually managed to weasel his way behind the back of checkers without being detected. I thought for a moment that one of the B players was about to back his way into Pietro's cross air, and well, Pietro does spot out the gun barrel, and in the end, that's all he needs as he does drop Lonsdale. Burn, though, with 1 key frag, can't quite convert the second. Gets Chriso out down to 24 HP, and Zusi on the lurk here, just mopping up what was once a Trident defense. 4 members to 2. Chiefs in control of the B-bomb site.
Very much in control. That bomb is yet to go down, but don't imagine it would be too long before that is the case. As now, Trident are going to need to try and save those guns, because the money situation for them could fast spiral out of control. But Trident have been headed off in the A site, doing quite well there, Yellow under pressure. But Aiden Hu just has this AWP and will need to try and save it out, because he is really key to their CT side so far. And they don't know where he is just yet. That peak punished by Aiden, the Dragon Lord, doing its work, as he's going to go toe-to-toe with Tux here in that AWP. Tux taking this battle, does fall. Great work from Aiden, just saving that AWP at a crucial time for his team, but they need to reel it back in here, because it's fast getting out of control for them.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised, to be honest, that we haven't seen more aggression from Trident. Quite the opposite, where when they've started to lose rounds, they've started to almost back into their shells. I think what teams have shown in the past in our domestic leagues, particularly at Cybergamer Premier League, which only finished about 4 weeks ago, was that Chiefs sometimes struggle when, I guess, teams become the aggressor and push them at different angles and keep them on their toes at all aspects of the map. But so far, we've just seen Trident very defensive across the map. Almost scared would be a description I'd use. With Lightstep and Tux each getting a frag now, this is looking like another round going their way. It's just all Chiefs at this time. They've already got 7 rounds. Yellow does get a frag, but he's going to need to get more because he's really isolated on his own in the A site. He does drop the bomb there in A main. He would have seen the bomb fall as well, so that call would have been made. His teammate is shortly on his way towards A. It's all left up to Lightstep as well, so despite being very limited on HP, they are making this round work for them. We can see Burn here on the flank in mid. Perhaps suspecting of previous rounds that Lightstep would be lurking that way, but as it is, he's already made his way up into highway, has dropped Yellow in the site. His main objective will, of course, be recovering this bomb. He's very suspicious, as you can see, of Burn perhaps hiding in the A main, guarding the bomb. Not going to be expecting him at highway, or at least I thought he wasn't, but very mindful of, I guess, the whereabouts of Burn in the end, as it turned out, winning that 1v2 for his team and keeping the momentum going for Team Chiefs.
Yeah, Chiefs now with an 8-2 lead on that terrorist side, as we know. Case having that slight CT favour. Trident really need to capitalise on the slight advantage that they have. Otherwise, they're going to be faced with a very tough second half. We know they favour their T sides, but if they don't leave themselves too many rounds to work with, it could spiral. As we see Lightstep pick up an early frag, as well as Tux pick up a frag there on that B site with the AWP, as Trident are now just being picked apart, taking those individual battles and very much losing. With Yellow and Break still alive, only Deagle's in hand, or should I say Deagle and 5-7. Really, they'll just be looking to get guns here as Pietro does fall to Break. So great work from Break there. He needs to try and save this AK though.
And that he will not do. He does get taken down by Tux, so just pause for a moment just to see if Tux was going to make that shot. And he's one of the most consistent AWPers. Maybe not the most flashy, but one of the most consistent that we have in the country. So all those sort of 80% shots, he'll be making them every time. But it's more of the movie-making material that he might not be connecting with, but definitely does a role for his team. We can see Lightstep here does spot out the last member in Yellow and does drop him. So really strong start by Chiefs, but you can't help but feel, Jim, that I think Trident must certainly be a little bit disappointed with how they've started tonight. I mean, yesterday showed so much promise and potential. They were really happy with themselves despite losing. Not so much tonight.
Yeah, they have taken attack pause too, and I don't think that's a bad decision at all. Perhaps would have taken a little bit earlier in the half and not let it get to that 9-6 sort of scoreline. But look, they have at least utilised it on the advantageous side of Cache map. Better late than never, I guess.
Something a bit different as well for those people who might not be as familiar with the rule set of CounterPit is that they actually have something slightly different to what we're accustomed to here in Australia in regards to their attack pauses. They're actually longer. In Australia, I guess we're normally entitled. Each team normally gets given 1 tactical pause each map. It's normally 2 minutes in length. CounterPit, a little bit more generous, 5 minutes. So unfortunately for some viewers out there, you might be having to listen to us talk without any Counter-Strike action for the next 4.5 minutes.
That is a very, very scary prospect. You never know what might come out of our mouths.
Oh, who knows? Especially, we love our tactical pauses, though. It's one of our favourite parts of casting. There's just so much you can talk about. But, I mean, where to from here? 9-2. Obviously, they've taken the tactical pause trying to recover somewhat this half. Obviously, the dream scenario would be a 9-6, but what do they need to do to put in place to get that?
Look, I think they really have been... They haven't been doing anything special, Chiefs. They have, I think, only 1 or 2 instances I've seen them actually applying pressure as a group on the A site, for example. They haven't done anything special. Trident are just taking these individual aim battles, and I think that's exactly what's proving to be their downfall. They haven't done anything with any coordinated gusto.
I agree 100%. I think that's a perfect analysis. We can see, I don't believe that was 5 minutes though. Surely that wasn't. So perhaps Trident there, they've already worked out their, I guess, golden path back into the match. We'll see what they can produce. They do have 2 AWPs in hand though, so that's the first difference to note. Burn picking up the AWP, not normally renowned for his AWPing skills, so this will be interesting to see how he goes. A lot of pressure being applied by Chiefs onto the B site. They have left the bomb safely in arrears so that they can try and frag to their heart's content without putting themselves at too much risk, but Tux, he just keeps on producing the consistent AWPer, showing it once again as he drops Lonsdale and opening up another round for Team Chiefs.
So they've lost that man early, and crucial pick being made in mid. But Break has made himself known in this round, taking 2 for his troubles in that vent. And Chiefs caught very much off guard there. Break doing some great work. And now pressure back on Chiefs. 4v3. They're going to try and take this A site as that bomb makes its way across. And Aiden sitting very firmly in the back of that site. Just anchored with that AWP. Does lose the battle to Tux. Tux showing us he actually is not a one-trick pony, not just a CT AWPer, as Break again, shooting another member of Chiefs in the back, doing a great job for his team so far this round. And Trident are going to need to find something special here, as Break again pushes through. Great position here on that Forker. Does actually get the ace as well. Great work from Break, showing us why he's one of the, I guess, more intelligent players in the scene in terms of his positional awareness, choosing the right times to make the pushes, and catching effectively all 5 members of Chiefs with their back turned.
That's the most remarkable thing, isn't it? I mean, an ace is incredible as it is, especially at this top tier CS, but the nature of those frags, like you said, almost all 5 of those players were killed in the back. So that's really incredible and a great mark of, I guess, the game sense and game mechanics that Break has. But I'm sure when Trident took their time out, the strategy surely cannot have been just let Break get an ace. I'm sure they had something else in mind there, but it always helps when one of your teammates step up and go huge. We do see them just one AWP in hand now, though. So perhaps off the back of losing an AWP or 2 last round, they haven't had the economy to keep that going. I'm wondering whether that might start to play into things. You can see the man in question, Burn, previously with an AWP, does have the M4A4 Griffin. So you can see if he can put that bird to good use.
Yeah, wants a very much type skin. Let's see if it works for him this round. As Chiefs are just repelled momentarily from going out mid. And they are going to execute this smoke. I'm pretty sure will actually go up onto the very top of highway there. So it'll allow them to get control of mid without being picked at A. That flash does come in. And they are going to continue all the way up highway there and put a lot of pressure on this A site. Look at this wrap coming in from the highway. Break, again being boosted into that vent, will probably flank a couple members of Chiefs here. Does shoot Pietro in the back and pick him up. Great work from Trident so far, repelling this Chiefs wrap as Chris is caught looking the opposite direction. Trident with a great site defense so far. Bomber's gone down. Break picking up another fantastic frag for his team, lifting his team back into contention here. And now all to do for Tux at this quad box with an AWP. And they know his position. His time is limited as Lonsdale gets the flank. Trident are finally clawing themselves back into this match. And that tactical pause working a great deal in their favour.
Yeah, I mean, and that was great insight there. That was really professional of me. But I guess I was just really put up. Put that one on bingo. This is the first time we've actually seen some live from them tonight. This is really good to see. I think they went on a streak there where they actually lost 8 rounds in a row. Key thing to note though, both rounds, Break producing the frags with the use of the vents, actually allowing him to move very quickly between B where he normally holds and mid, catching players off guard. So quite content on exploiting the, I guess, dynamic aspect of the gameplay that having vents control does give you. And it's starting to give Chiefs something to think about. I like this from Trident.
Yeah, Trident just using that opportunity to change things up. Didn't even need the full 5 minutes either. As Chiefs now are going back to something that worked for them before, but Break again. Just popping up all over the site there, picking up a second frag through the door for his trouble. Finally, his reign of terror is ended there by Zeusy through the smoke, but the damage has been done. Zeusy just swindling through that smoke there. Has a little, I guess, a hidey hole position here in that A site. And will wait for his teammates to, I guess, cause potentially one of the players to rotate out of A. As you see Aiden Hu through the X-ray there, actually making his way back out of the site. Where can they go?
Well, that's right. Definitely can see Chris, who actually has the bomber here holding almost in between his 2 team members. I think he's just going to be waiting to see what either member can do. Zeusy actually able to get quite far into the site. So off the back of that information, the bomb will head towards A, and a frag will certainly help the cause as well. Pietro now pincering up highway. Chiefs have managed to gain control of the A bomb site, and there's very little Aiden can do as the smokes and flashes go down. So we're down to a 3-on-3. Pietro there almost getting caught off guard, and surely he shouldn't make that frag, but he somehow does with the 180. Lonsdale there should have finished the job. Burn eventually does just that, but with 2 members left alive, it's a perfect opportunity for Zeusy to step out and grab himself another frag for the scoreboard. 10-4 to Chiefs, and all of a sudden that momentum that Trident once had is now a thing of the past.
Yeah, they will need to capitalise here and at least salvage this last round, but they are throwing everything they can at it with their dire money situation there. As you see, 2 members of Trident only able to afford, or should I say 3, only able to afford pistols there. No head armour either. A little bit of utility to boot and only 1 kit, so very tough round for Trident ahead. Can they make it work for them though? That's the question.
We can see that Chiefs, again, trying to take control of mid. We haven't seen this for a few rounds, but very early on now, they have got out mid very quickly. Look at Zeusy, 125 left on the clock. Only 20 seconds have expired. He's already where the CT spawned nearly. But yet to be any exchange of frags. You can see 3 pistol players, so I think once Chiefs pick up on that fact, they'll be a little bit more confident in their shoes. But as it stands, it'll be the Orpa who gets the first exchange. Nice little shot there from Aiden. Catches a glimpse of the shoulder and does drop Zeusy, the danger man, where he once stood. 5-on-4. A lot of pressure on Aiden here now, though. He's one of the only few members with the gun. He needs to grab some more. As it is, Break, the man who's really been stepping up the last few rounds, does get one. Thought he had a second there. Started to dream of, had visions of what could be a movie material round, but
Deagle in a dream.
Deagle in a dream, and that's all it is now as he does fall. Really, Chiefs down a man, but have the map control, and really their choice of sites. And it will be B, but it's quite well defended here. Lonsdale, look at the sneaky position he's in. Oh no, I thought he was going to whiff another shot. Not 2 in 2 rounds, but a little bit of TK going on now. It's a bit of chaos that's happening on the map. About time we saw some chaos. But as it now stands, Trident, can they close out this round? They deserve to. They've already got a few frags. And really, the strong positional play will prove to be the decider as they do find that last round. 10-5 the half.
Yeah, 10-5 the half, but I fear the damage may have already been done. It's crucial now that Trident use, I guess, this time to talk over what they're going to do, what their approach is going to be for this second half. But if they don't win this pistol, they could potentially find themselves on the opposite, or I guess the wrong end of a beating.
Yeah, if you look at the scoreboard, you can see really Lonsdale. I don't like to single out players. Well, I kind of do. Lonsdale really hasn't produced the fragging power that we know of him. I know he is the in-game leader, but he really prides himself on his fragging. He doesn't use that as an excuse, so he'll be probably a little bit disappointed with that first half, but this is the opportunity now to turn things around. If they can get the pistol round, perhaps it could be the start of something special. As it is, Yellow does spot out some early B aggression by Chiefs, and he will relay that to his teammates, but they haven't yet reacted. Split apart so, I guess, diversely, it really doesn't give you or put you in much of a position to react when you do see that early aggression from the team. So Trident having to take it slow. Chiefs, they've backed off.
That's it, and Trident just regrouping here in mid. Break actually breaks open that vent, and Chiefs just trying to pick up a frag here early on just to relieve a little bit of pressure, because as that timer goes, Aiden, who actually does catch Zeusy off guard there, pushing through that mid-con, gets him down to within 1 hit point of his life. So I guess more crucially, his smokes and flash that he does have will actually play a factor in this round. It's Chris, oh wow, just has great information on that B main there. Just allowing his teammates to just stay on that A site. Tux now is under a lot of pressure here. He does pick up both frags. Incredible stuff here, as now finally Yellow does get that trade onto him at quad, and that bomb is yet to go down on this A site. Pressure being applied from Forklift from Pietro, does pick up that frag, unsilencing his weapon for great reason there, and Chris is going to have to back his teammate here. Look at the HPs though on Trident, 5-1. Aiden who 1 HP, needs to pull something out of the bag for his team here. That bomb has not gone down yet. 10 seconds left in the round. You would say it's mission impossible, as Pietro simply confirms that.
We did see Pietro. That's very unorthodox, isn't it? Seeing him, or seeing a player even, taking the silencer off the silence USP. Now, as strange and unorthodox as that might seem, he actually has a fairly legitimate and quite intelligent reason for doing so. What he's told us in the past is that his mindset is that he prefers the recoil of that gun over the P2K, but by removing the silencer, he can hear the bullets that he's shooting more easily, and he's more mindful of if he's shooting too fast. He believes that with this sort of gun, you need to, it's more deadly and lethal when you're shooting quite slow, and by hearing the recoil more, it allows him to be more mindful of the way in which he is utilizing the gun.
That being said too, it also lets his opponents know if he's one bulleted them.
Yes, that's also a key factor with Pietro. He does like to have that mental edge over his opponents.
Nothing like being confirmed one bead, as they do take a very, very, very cautious approach this round. Trident really just not committing to anything at all. Pietro there does pick up a cheeky 2-bullet MP7 frag in the A main, and Tux now deciding to try and end any sort of Trident resistance in that B main there. They do pick up the second there, and Trident now have just been collapsed on and simply fallen one by one like toy soldiers.
You know I love my M&M, so I love that reference there. But 12-5, interested to see Trident. I think we've disabled it for the quality of the stream, but they're actually throwing around a little bit of chats at the moment in the game. Just innocent sort of stuff, but just seems to me that they're losing a little bit of focus at the moment. It's not a good sign when you're down 12-5. There's certainly ways back into this match. They have full sport this round, so have a look at what Arsenal they've got. They've got 2 Tech 9s, a Deedle, a UMP, and the P90. They've got the licorice all sorts, everything that you could hope for and then some more. And they're going to move on to the A site very, very quickly. But look at the defense. The Molotovs go down. Zeusy actually, surely he's standing that. I'm not sure how he's still alive. His feet were on the hot coals, but as it is, Aiden who coming up big with the P90 and grabbing 2 frags. So we're down to a 2-on-2 situation. Chriso moving up towards the truck, but Lonsdale on the lurk would have heard that. And once again, he should have converted that frag. This is costing his team rounds here and puts a lot of pressure on Aiden. Down to a 1-on-2. Very low on HP, and 1 bullet from that P90 will be enough to seal the deal. 13-5 to Team Chiefs.
Yeah, I guess Zeusy would be a little bit disappointed that Molotov is actually what took the frag away from him there. He did the bulk of the damage and didn't get that $900 reward, but I guess more importantly, Chiefs survive a very scary buy round, or a forced buy round from Trident. So Trident now under the pump here. They are going to deco this round and go for it and make a run late in this game. As Tux picks up that first frag there, showing us why he's such a good CT AWPer. Just calm, cool, collected, holding those lines and getting the picks. Trident now, just a little bit on the back foot. Pietro has great position now. Will catch 1, now 2. Missing the second narrowly there. Taking the fight, does manage to pick him up. And now all Lonsdale, all hope rests on his shoulders as that is quickly blown out of his grasp.
Well, that's right. 14-5. You can see that almost their persistence in buying all those previous rounds with that glimmer of hope that was once the dream of winning this match is starting to hurt them now because they've fully bought up, but lacking some utility. They do have 5 smokes, fortunately, and with a team as strategized as these guys, hopefully for their sake they can put that to good use, but they're going to need to come up with something amazing here. They're down 14-5. You can see quite slow. Some spam there from breakthrough to the CT-Con, actually tagging, I think it was Chriso there, but with the penetration as it is in CSGO, Chriso's still comfortably alive, 83 HP, and Tux does push through the B side and catches another one off guard. He's really, I guess, been the man for me, rotating that AWP to all the different sites and finding those entry frags. Again, opening up another round, backing off, I guess, keeping his distance now. I just love to see this from Tux, one of the most improved players in our scene over the last few months for sure.
Yeah, Chiefs just repelling everything Trident are throwing them at the moment, and even being afforded the luxury of just those late round boosts now, as we see Zeusy boosting his teammate up onto what is known as the Shroud boost. Pietro just licking his lips up there, potentially shooting a few members in the back if they do decide to go towards that A site, but Trident just content to sit back. Lonsdale does fall early there. He won't be content with losing that battle there to Pietro. As now Burn picks up a great frag into A. Unfortunately, his teammate was traded in the process there. Lightstep just stepping at the right time onto that mid connector. And now, Aiden Hu and Burn are going to have to try and pull something out of the bag here.
Well, they've only got 20 seconds left, so I hope they can find it very quickly in the bag. 4 members left alive, 2 on each side. I like this spread defense, but for some reason, Lightstep not fully aware that mid was open. Burn catches him off guard there. They're moving very quickly into the A site, but with only 7 seconds left, Burn must find this frag. Does find the frag, but not before Pietro drops the bomb. That's going to seal the deal for the team. That will be the round going in favour of Chiefs. Key frag there by Pietro. Time runs out for Burn. 15-5.
Great work from Pietro, stopping the bomb plant altogether. That was key to that round because that was looking very dangerous for Trident. And they had the prospect of winning that round. Unfortunately, the bomb did fall, but now 15-5 the scoreline. Trident have a lot of work to do here to get themselves back into the match. Of course, it is an overtime if they do manage to get there, but they are a long way away from that yet. 10 rounds before they can even think of that prospect. And it looks to be just Trident putting some pressure on A. Lonsdale is, I guess, his favoured spot of that door. Zeusy does take the battle with him, does come out victorious. Lonsdale falling to that Colt at forklift. Pietro now just stepping into that A main and so easily getting those frags. Chiefs just taking his 1v1 aim duels and coming out the victors, doing it a little bit too easily for my liking. Trident not quite able to pull something out yet.
Yeah, you could see their intent there was to make a bit of a distraction, perhaps get a frag or two at the A site, causing a rotation from Chiefs, because you can see the bomb here making its way towards B, or at least it was as it now backs off, but frags are just going every which way for Team Chiefs at the moment. Seemingly they cannot do anything wrong. 4 members to 2 left alive, at least they were 2 until yellow does fall, so their hopes for this first map rest on the shoulders of Break. A trusty player at most times, but a tough ask, you must think. 1 on 3 does manage to drop Lightstep. They can hear his footsteps though, so as he moves into the B site, Chriso would have heard that and just beautifully positions himself to secure that frag, but more importantly, secure the first match 16-5. Very impressive.